The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, April 28, reveals that Victor Newman's blowup will send Michael Baldwin to Jack Abbott, while Claire Newman pumps the brakes on Kyle Abbott. At the GCAC, Audra Charles will resent the implication that she's keeping some massive secret and will think Lily Winters is trying to goad her into a fight. However, Lily will be convinced that whatever Audra shared with Holden Novak was deeper than she's letting on. Audra will continue to downplay her past with Holden and will assure Lily that she has nothing to do with all the Aristotle Dumas drama. Although Audra will feel like Lily's putting up a brick wall and making it tough for her to gain acceptance with Nate Hastings' loved ones, she'll make it clear that she's not going anywhere. Once Audra saunters off, Lily will confront Holden at the bar and demand answers about the secrets he's hiding with Audra. Holden will psychoanalyze Lily and guess that she likes digging for dirt like this because it makes her feel superior. Although Lily will toss some insults around, Holden will hint that he's not usually wrong when it comes to reading women. At the Abbott mansion, Claire will check out the renovations while Kyle and Jack are there. Since Claire will love what Diane Jenkins Abbott did with the house, Kyle will hint that maybe they should live there until they find a place of their own. Claire will explain that she was hoping to spend more time with her family before they officially moved in together. Plus, Claire will suggest moving under Jack's roof would blow things up with Victor even more, so Kyle will understand and stick with their original plan. While Kyle and Claire head upstairs for some passion, Victor will be busy meeting with Michael at the ranch. Michael will offer news on Elliot Matheson being a problem since he reached out and apologized profusely for being so greedy before. That'll raise red flags, especially since Matheson's voice was shaky and he didn't miss any work days despite claiming he had the flu. Victor will want Michael to pull Matheson out of this mission and will end up ranting about how he still doesn't trust Michael. Since Michael has been trying to steer Victor away from his plot against Jebut, Victor will have an issue with that. Michael will argue that he's just giving Victor options like a good attorney should, and will have a huge fight with Victor over all the Jordan drama that started the lack of trust. After Victor admits he's pissed off, he'll take a phone call and kick Michael out. As Michael's leaving, he'll text Jack to see if they can meet up for a drink. Jack will already be at the Jazz Lounge with Billy Abbott on Monday's I and R episode, so he'll invite Michael to join him there. In the meantime, Jack will get updates on Billy's situation with Phyllis Summers, since she's stuck on giving Daniel Romalotti Jr. a job he's not right for. Billy won't regret hiring Phyllis, since she's good at what she does, but he'll seem concerned about keeping her on board now that she's spinning out. Jack will insist that the company is Billy's to run, so he gets to make the decision regarding Phyllis. Later, Michael will show up and acknowledge that he was a bit impulsive in reaching out to Jack. However, Michael will think it's time that they talked, so Jack will wonder what Victor has planned for him now. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Michael's meeting with Jack could backfire spectacularly if Victor finds out. So Lauren Baldwin will make some troubling predictions soon. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, April 29, reveal that Sally Spectra and Audra Charles will conspire while Maria Copeland hides a secret. Phyllis Summers also seems poised to face a huge setback, so there will be a lot happening in Genoa City. For starters, Audra will meet up with Sally for a scheming session. There's a good chance Audra will vent after her latest confrontation with Lily Winters, so Sally may offer some advice on how to handle her. This meeting could also give Sally an opportunity to complain about Phyllis and get another push to play dirty. Audra certainly doesn't mind getting down in the mud, and may be a bad influence on Sally if she convinces her to do the same. Of course, Sally may not have to do much of anything if Phyllis remains fixated on Daniel Romalotti Jr. working at Abbott Communications. Billy Abbott will sit down with Phyllis and make it clear that they can't go on like this. Phyllis is often her own worst enemy and may knock herself out of a future at the company by being so stubborn on this Daniel issue. It's certainly looking like Billy will decide to give Phyllis the boot. Phyllis has really been struggling in the aftermath of all the kidnapping chaos, so this could be a huge setback for her mental health. We could see Phyllis go off the rails once she no longer has this purpose to cling to. Next, on Tuesday's I and R episode, Mariah will seem unsettled as she joins Tessa Porter and embraces her. It won't take Tessa long to realize something's up, so she'll urge Mariah to tell her what's going on. Although the look on Mariah's face will prove she's not Oak, she'll apparently clam up about the real reason why. Mariah might make up some other excuse to throw Tessa off the trail, but the truth could be far worse than what she reveals. In the end, Mariah might downplay the problem and make some predictions about handling it, but keeping secrets tends to lead to trouble in her relationship with Tessa. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Tessa may open up to Daniel as her concerns grow, so stick with us for updates on any surprising news she might uncover. Young and Restless has been putting us to sleep on the regular, but here's hoping things take a more dramatic turn as we roll into May sweeps next week. The following is said with love for our soap and a desire to see it live up to its potential and return to its former glory. Young and Restless has been a veritable snooze fest of long, drawn-out conversations in recent weeks, leaving eyes glazed over and fingers poised over fast-forward buttons. We've endured scene after scene of talk about a company that exists only in Billy's mind, and half of an entire episode was devoted to Adam asking Chelsea to work with him. We were trapped into an overlong monologue about Kyle snoring, and Daniel's simple request for Tessa to teach him how to play guitar was spread over 2 days. I understand that the writers are trying to inject charm and romance into the scripts. Love in the afternoon and a touch of humor are necessities, but it's like they've completely forgotten why we're tuning in. In a word, we're here for drama. We're here for scandals, slaps, scraps, shocks, disasters, plot twists, dramatic breakups, and makeups. We're here to escape the tedium of everyday life, not watch people talk about it ad nauseum. It's lovely that informative tidbits of psychology are being woven into the dialogue. In fact, it's downright admirable, but we're here for dysfunction. Complex characters shedding their pasts to become well-liked or reformed, if you will, has deadened the energy and undercurrents of the show. Lily sniping at Audra is surface-level conflict compared to characters with deeper historical grievances crossing paths. Finally, a significant part of Genoa City life surrounds big wigs running big businesses, but the companies themselves cannot become more important than the interpersonal drama of the characters working within them. The last exciting business story involved Ashland Locke, but the success of it had nothing to do with Newman Enterprises, and everything to do with his relationship with Victoria. Musical CEOs/coups simply isn't of interest. I repeat, all of this is said with love for the soap and a desire to see it live up to its potential and return to its former glory. I'm looking forward to things picking up, what with May sweeps upon us. Hopefully, Dumas finally makes an appearance after all of the hype. I'd expect Audra and Victor's scheme to either blow up in their faces or succeed and cause heartbreak. Now that Diane's remodel is complete, Jack can get back to feuding with the mustache and looking for corporate moles. It appears that Michael being caught in the middle will cause him some grief. Phyllis is clearly struggling in the aftermath of the kidnapping and may end up losing the one thing keeping her tethered, her job with Billy. Nick and Sharon may or may not come back together, and trouble appears to be brewing for Terrea if the preview is anything to go by. Bring on the messiness. From the moment Cole started coughing in society with Victoria and Claire, I figured he was a goner. Nothing like this happens on a soap without a reason. Considering Victoria needs someone entirely different as a partner and Claire needs a good reason to go off the rails, It's a good bet that Cole's days are numbered. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of April 28, 2025. It shows Lauren Fenmore Baldwin giving Michael Baldwin a grim prediction. Billy Abbott drops a bomb on Phyllis Summers. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland is rattled. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. The weekly preview clip begins with Michael and Lauren. The two are having a hushed but heated debate. Michael has been given orders by Victor Newman in his war against Jack Abbott. However, Michael is also good friends with Diane Jenkins Abbott. As for Lauren, she considers Jack to be a dear friend. Lauren looks like she's ready to blow. Michael tells her that he tries to navigate the situation to get to the best possible outcome. However, Lauren replies that he made the situation worse. Then, she informs Michael to just wait until Victor finds out. Lauren predicts that this is all going to bite her husband in the end. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Billy has a sit-down with Phyllis. Interestingly, they are in a restaurant and not in Billy's suite or someone private. In any case, Billy tells Phyllis that everyone has tried to get through to her, even Daniel Romalotti Jr. Now, Billy has no choice, he says. As Phyllis plays dumb and smiles goofily, she asks what Billy means. It sounds like Billy is about to give her the boot. Over at Society, Maria shows up to see Tessa. In the preview clip, Tessa tries to hug her wife, but she can tell something is off. Tessa slowly pulls away, but can tell that something is very wrong. Tessa does ask what's going on. As the camera finally shows the side of Mariah's face, she is clearly fear-stricken. This isn't just bad news or something concerning. Maria looks downright panicked. Does this have something to do with area Porter Copeland? Or perhaps Mariah finally finds out that Ian Ward isn't dead after all. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, April 28, 2025 are here. In the next episode, fans can expect Victor Newman to give Michael Baldwin an ultimatum. Meanwhile, Lily Winters plays nice with Holden Novak. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. In the next episode, fans can expect Victor to issue an ultimatum to Michael. Fans know that Michael has been following Victor's orders regarding his attack on Jack Abbott. However, Michael has been divided on that, as what Victor is planning is outrageous. Michael also knows that Jack doesn't deserve this. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin mentioned to Nikki Newman that Michael hasn't been sleeping well. Lauren was really concerned about the toll this job was taking on Michael. However, the lawyer insists that he's trying to make the best outcome for both sides. Trying to play both sides is a big mistake. In a preview clip, Lauren is furious with her husband. Lauren warns that this is all going to bite Michael when Victor learns about it. So, it's not clear what Michael has done, but it's something that could ignite Victor's rage. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next episode reveal that Lily will play nice with Holden. However, fans know that Lily was just interrogating Audra Charles. Lily questioned why Audra cares about the Damian Kane situation. Audra quickly covered, but it seems Lily might be onto something. Lily's got her eyes on Audra. Also, Jack will give Billy a boost of confidence. Jack has been supporting Billy in his new venture and even funded it. The agreement was no funny business. This company needs to be on the up and up. Billy gave his word, but fans know that he made a devious deal with Aristotle Dumas to get Chancellor back. Once Jack learns what Billy has been up to, that could create some big problems. Billy is likely hoping that he'll get Chancellor back and be riding high when Jack finally learns the truth. Billy once said to Phyllis Summers that there was no losing in this deal with Dumas. However, chances are that Billy is going to be the biggest loser of all. At the Abbott house, Jack looks around the renovated space. Diane asks, "Well, what do you think?" Jack doesn't respond, so Kyle says, "It's stunning. It's beautiful." They keep prompting Jack to speak. Diane implores, "Oh, for God's sake, Jack, say something." He finally says, "It's perfect." She's overcome with relief. He loves it and tells her she was absolutely right. Diane admits he scared her to death as Kyle pours bubbly. Jack says she protected the integrity of the place, just as she promised. They toast to Diane, who teases him about being scared. Jack admits he was terrified. He worried what he'd do if he didn't like it, but from the moment he opened his eyes, he knew this was home. They sit, and Diane apologizes for putting Jack through such turmoil. He's sorry he made it so difficult. She understands making the changes was almost traumatic for him. Diane admits she was scared too. Kyle loves it and thinks everyone else will too. Diane remarks that she preserved everything in case they had to put it all back. Jack says it's the perfect blend of old-world style and contemporary. He marvels that he could imagine his father in the space right now. He flashes to a conversation he had with John in the living room. Diane takes him in to see the dining room. Jack cannot wait for Ashley and Tracy to see what an amazing job she's done. Diane isn't sure Ashley will like it. Jack doesn't know. He thinks after this she'll be fully embraced by the entire Abbott family. They kiss. Diane asks Kyle if he and Claire will change their minds and move in there. Kyle admits they'll likely get their own place, but he commits to Sunday dinners in the dining room. "This will always be my home. Thank you for preserving it, Mom." They embrace. Kyle snaps photos to show Claire, and they all talk about not being able to wait for Harrison's reaction. He's heading back to the office, but Jack says he'll stay and soak this up for a bit. Kyle exits, and Diane says, "Oak, go ahead." Now that it's just them, he can tell her the truth. She's sure there are changes he doesn't like. "I promise I can take it." Jack admits that a few things threw him at first. He wonders if the crown molding is too formal. She says she didn't change it, she only had it painted. He questions the fabric on the sofa, but she says he loved it on Tracy's club chairs in her apartment. Jack turns his attention to the portrait over the fireplace. He likes it a lot. Diane found it in the attic. It was a gift from his mother to his father in 1956. She knows because there was a note on the back of it. Jack tears up. "I could not be more impressed." He couldn't see the possibility of still loving it after it was updated, but he loves it. He sees her everywhere. "That's the way it should be. Why did I ever doubt you?" He tells Diane she has more than earned her place there. He thanks her for reminding him he shouldn't get stuck in the past. Jack wishes his parents could be there to see what a wonderful job she's done with their family home. At Society, Adam greets Chelsea and tells her this couldn't wait. He's been thinking, and there's something important he wants to ask her. He hopes she'll say yes. Chelsea asks what he's doing. It looks like he's about to propose. Adam realizes that she's not thrilled about the idea. She says it would be premature. Adam turns sarcastic and jokey. She tells them remarrying so soon would be extreme. Adam says Victor brought it up, and so did Connor. Letting her off the hook, he admits he wasn't about to propose. Marriage, at least. "Will you come work with me at Newman Media?" Chelsea didn't see this coming. It's out of the blue. Adam admits he's been considering this before she even moved to the ranch. He knows she's thriving at Marchetti, but the idea feels right to him. Chelsea's flattered, but she doesn't understand. Adam points out she has experience. She's built her own company before. He thinks a partnership could work. My COO. He needs someone with creative ideas who knows his quirks. Someone he can work well with. Chelsea hedges, the way you and Sally did. Adam's not trying to replicate his dynamic with Sally. He wants a new partnership. They're in sync, and this would be perfect. He needs someone who he trusts and who can see his vision and push back. They could carpool and save on gas. She laughs and muses. This ended up being a proposal after all. Adam gets down on one knee and says, "Chelsea Lawson, will you do me the honor of being my COO?" She urges him to get up and says to the room at large, "This isn't what it looks like." Adam gets back in his chair. Well, Chelsea tells Adam he's not making this easy. He thinks the whole restaurant was pretty entertained. Chelsea never considered them working together and doesn't know how to respond. She's flattered he thinks so highly of her business skills. Adam keeps making the pitch, but she argues they haven't always seen eye to eye. Adam thinks if they can get through the last year with Connor, they can get through anything. He asks her to just think about it. She agrees. Smiling, she says he looks happy. Adam gets down on one knee again to propose they get some flatbread pizza. She pulls him up. Talk turns to Connor's baseball skills, but Chelsea's not paying attention to what Adam's saying. She admits his offer is on her mind. It would be a challenge, and she thinks they could work great together under the right circumstances. Adam asks if she's leaning toward saying yes. She wonders if they could work together and not end up hating each other. Adam thinks it will be great. She says, "It wasn't great for you and Sally." Adam was a different person back then. He urges her again to take some time to consider the offer. He'll be fine no matter what she decides. Chelsea says she loves her job and Summer relies on her. Adam's sure Sally and Chloe will step up if she leaves. Chelsea thinks he's right. She takes his hand and tells him that just him asking her means everything. She leans over the table to kiss him and everyone applauds. Adam proposes they get out of there now. She says, "Proposal accepted." Audra runs into Lily in the club dining room and updates her that Nate and Damien landed in Boston with Amy. They agree it sounds promising. Lily can see she really cares about Amy. She hopes it turns out for the best. Audra wonders if she's finally started warming up to Damien. As she asks this, Holden appears and hovers behind them, listening. Lily says she's hoping for the best for everyone involved. She's heard Damien's side, and he might actually be helpful regarding his mysterious boss. She also wanted to make sure Nate's cousin wasn't bad news. She asks Audra about using her connection to Holden to also try to get information to help them. She must have her own concerns about Damien and Holden, or she wouldn't have offered. Audra says, like her, she doesn't want Nate to get hurt. Lily muses that with Audra's personal connection to Holden, she can't help but wonder who they can really trust in this situation. Holden takes this all in. Audra sniffs. That almost sounded like an accusation. Lily asks if she can blame her for wondering. She knew Holden was lying when he was posing as Damien, and she didn't say anything. Lily says Nate bought her reason for not doing so, but she's not as easily convinced. Audra accuses Lily of not trying with her. Lily insists she has, but she always has some new lie or mystery. They bicker as Holden continues listening. Audra says she has no underhanded plans to hurt Nate. She cares about him too much. Holden decides to interrupt and greets them. Lily notes that he's still in town and asks who's running the companies in L.A. Holden, tells Lily that he and Damien have everything under control. Lily wonders if this is because the companies are actually owned by Aristotle Dumas. Holden doesn't ask questions, but admits he's never met Dumas. It's smarter to keep your head down, and Damien tells him what he needs to know. Audra asks if he thinks there's anything shady going on between Dumas and Damien. They're wondering why Dumas wants Damien to pretend that he runs the companies. Holden would never betray his best friend's confidence. "I would take a bullet for that man if I had to." Audra asks, "Do you think he would take one for you?" Holden's not sure he likes the direction of the conversation. Lily says she and Audra are just looking out for the people they care about. Holden doesn't blame them for being suspicious. He and Damien were too. It's strange on both sides. He suggests things could shift if Amy's treatment goes well. His boss might stick around there. Damien's new connection to his family has changed everything. Holden misses L.A. Audra, asks what's stopping him from going back. Looking at Audra, he muses, "Now that is a good question." Lily squints her eyes. Holden gets a call from Damien and walks off to take it. Lily tells Audra, "I think we got the answer to your question." It's pretty obvious she's the reason Holden's not returning to L.A. Audra counters. Couldn't we say the same thing about you and Damien? Lily says they're not talking about her, they're talking about Audra. Audra says Holden doesn't care about her like that. Lily doesn't think there is anything casual about their connection. He has something on you, doesn't he? Why else would you lie about having met him in the first place? She goes on. What happened in LA? Something that could come back to haunt you, or Nate? How big of a problem is this going to turn into? Lily turns her attention to a text message on her phone, and Audra exchanges a look with Holden, who is still on the phone at the bar. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Sally Spectra might choose a new partner for Phyllis Summers. Could she surprise Billy Abbott with a proposal to switch partners while also attempting to help a friend? Sally is clearly skeptical about Billy's collaboration with Phyllis, viewing her as an unpredictable element. In Sally's eyes, Phyllis is unlikely to be the supportive partner Billy needs to ensure the success of Abbott Communications. She worries that Phyllis could potentially be the force that brings the company down, which is why she strongly advised Billy to let her go in the April 22 episode. However, if Billy heeds Sally's warning, he will still face a dilemma, as he has already confessed to lacking a contingency plan, having relied on Phyllis to help launch Abbott Communications. Despite Billy's proposal for Sally to become his new partner, she declined as her passion lies in fashion. Yet another character from My and R is in need of a better role and has a background in media. We're referring to Audra Charles, who recently unsettled Sally by revealing Victor Newman's proposal. Sally was appalled at the idea of Audra scheming to sabotage Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott's relationship at Victor's behest. Audra is risking her relationship with Nate Hastings, especially since Victor has shown himself to be unreliable. Sally believes the dangers are too great, but Audra is resolute in her ambition to establish her own company and demonstrate her potential in the corporate arena. Yet, another character from My and R is in need of a better role and has experience in the media field. We're referring to Audra Charles, who recently shocked Sally by revealing Victor Newman's proposal. Sally was appalled at the idea of Audra scheming to sabotage Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott's relationship at Victor's behest. Audra is risking her relationship with Nate Hastings, especially since Victor has shown himself to be unreliable. Sally believes the dangers are too great, but Audra is resolute in her ambition to establish her own company and demonstrate her potential in the corporate arena. Similarly, Billy could also turn down the proposal, particularly if he chooses to remain loyal to Phyllis, who has faced numerous challenges lately. Not to mention, he's probably heard that Audra can be very problematic, being a key player in Kyle Abbott's divorce. Nevertheless, Sally may attempt to position Audra in Phyllis' role and speculate that this could lead to a more favorable outcome. Future teasers for the CBS soap indicate that Sally will advocate for some company changes and anticipate positive developments, so be sure to catch Billy's decision. Genoa City will never be the same. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, one of Victor Newman's most trusted allies has done the unthinkable, turned against him. Longtime legal shark Michael Baldwin has dropped a trio of bombshell revelations that could not only destroy Victor's empire, but unravel his entire legacy. And to make matters worse, Jack and Diane have the proof, and they're ready to use it. The stakes have never been higher, and the fallout is about to rock the entire Newman dynasty. It all began with whispers behind closed doors. Michael Baldwin, usually loyal to Victor to a fault, has grown increasingly uneasy with his former friend's recent behavior. Now, after weeks of quiet investigation, Michael has come forward with 3 terrifying secrets, each one more shocking than the last. According to Michael's stunning reveal, Victor allegedly covered up the disappearance of a key Genoa City figure, someone thought to be missing under mysterious circumstances. Though the identity remains under wraps, fans are already speculating. Could it be tied to Adam's troubled past, or even a long-lost character presumed dead? Jack and Diane, who had been digging for dirt on Victor for months, now have surveillance footage linking Victor to the scene, and they're not keeping quiet. Victor is no stranger to ruthless business moves, but Michael claims this time he went too far. Allegedly, Victor orchestrated a secret takedown of a rival company, using backdoor deals, bribed officials, and planted evidence to cause a collapse, all to protect Newman Enterprises. And Jack, always one step behind Victor in the corporate game, may finally have the smoking gun. Diane uncovered encrypted emails that tie Victor to the sabotage. If they go public, Victor could face federal charges, and Newman Enterprises could crumble. Perhaps the most personal and devastating of all, Michael claims Victor betrayed a member of his own family to save himself. While names haven't been confirmed, speculation is running wild. Could it involve Nick, who recently stepped away from Newman, or Victoria, who's been suspiciously quiet in recent weeks? Some fans even suspect Adam is at the center of this storm, once again set up as the fall guy in Victor's game of power. With these secrets in hand, Jack and Diane are reportedly preparing to go public, and the impact could be explosive. Jack has waited years for the moment he could take Victor down ethically, and now, with Michael on his side, the final chess move may be in play. But don't count Victor out just yet. He's survived decades of betrayal, blackmail, and backstabbing, and this time, he may strike back harder than ever. Insiders tease that Victor already knows someone's betrayed him, and the trap he's setting in return may flip everything upside down. As the news spreads, loyalties are being tested across Genoa City. Nikki is reportedly torn between standing by her husband and confronting the horrifying truths. Victoria and Nick may be forced to choose sides, and if Adam learns the full truth, all hell may break loose.